Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Deepa.
Hi. Good evening.
Hi.
Sorry, good morning.
Oh, yeah, it's morning here.
Yeah. Good morning. So, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. Now, yes, it's 4 p.m. here in India, and
Okay.
almost all the agents are joining. They will be joining, but if you want, you can start the session because it's already 4 p.m. over here.
Okay.
Yes. And we will be
So,
recording this session. So, anyhow, we will be sending the recording to each and every person who has registered for this session.
okay.
Yes.
All right. Sorry. So this is for Lisa and ISA
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. So all the other programs that are available in English in other schools, there's no need to present any of that,
If you
or maybe
can
all
like
of them.
if you can add strat, okay, and also like ESGCI, if you can add that as well, like the programs which are taught in English only, some details about that. And even if you are like
Okay.
having vouchers or PPT for those schools, you can share me so that I can share with the agents.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do have some English programs at there's a business school in Bordeaux.
Okay.
Just a second. Mm,
Mainly like we need to focus on four schools, that is ESG, Claude Florent, ISA and Lisa. Maybe Strat also.
ESG?
Yeah, ESG.
Okay,
There are
because the
there are
ESG
two
schools, I
programs in
think,
English, no? And that
yes.
yes. So five schools in all: Strat, Lisa, Isa, Claus Florent, and ESG CI.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just get the information on ESG because I didn't think we'll be doing that.
Oh, that's okay. If you
Just a
don't have
second.
right now, you can share me in mail, and I will circulate.
Okay, no problem.
The, okay. So if it is taking more time, you can mainly focus on Isa and Lisa. And for the other schools, you can share me the details. I will share it with the agents. You can give a
Okay, no
brief
problem.
introduction about those schools and the programs in English.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. I'll just go ahead and share my screen.
Yes, your screen
Yes,
is
can you see
visible.
my?
Yeah, we can
Okay,
see.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So for I'm sure everybody knows about Galileo already because we've been working with you joining campus for a long time. So
Yes, they know.
I'll just skip to the the important stuff. Okay, so these are like a PDF on our English taught programs. And I'll just briefly introduce the schools that have English programs, also ESG, but I'll send that on the side later.
Yeah, okay.
So we have, yes, so we have Atelier Chardon Savate, it's in Paris. We have, it's a fashion school in Paris. We have Atelier de Sèvres, it's also in Paris. It's a foundation program. It's for those interested in fine arts. And we have Conflorent, we have IESA, Institut Culinaire de France. It's in Bordeaux. It's a culinary school. And then we have LISA, which you know of. We have Strat, and then we have PSP. But of course, PSP is separate when it comes to the applications. So I'll go one by one, but I'll just briefly introduce the school. Like it's Atelier Chardon Savard. It's a well-known school. It has a bachelor's program in fashion design. And of course, specialization starting from the second year. And of course, the third year, they have mandatory internships. And the fourth year, they have mandatory internships too. The fourth year, it's basically an internship year. That's why the tuition fee here is lower. And we have Atelier de Sèvres, as I mentioned, it's a foundation school, like those interested in going into fine arts, but are not sure of the discipline. So they do a foundation program with a general view of all the disciplines of art, sculpture, everything. And they take an exam and decide to join the public schools in France for fine arts. They have a foundation year in art and a foundation year in animation. Then, sorry, we have Conflorent, which is the acting in English program. I'm sure you know of it. It's a really renowned school in Paris for acting. They have just one program in English. It's acting in English, and it's open to everyone. The only thing about this program is it's not a recognized bachelor's degree. So after the third year, the students get a certificate, a school certificate from the school to say that they completed the 3 years. But if not, it's not a recognized bachelor's degree. Okay, so now I will go to IESA. So IESA is an arts and culture school in Paris. It's for all students who are interested in art curation, working in the museums, art exhibitions, performing arts, music festivals, all that. So they have a bachelor's degree in art sales management. It's a 3-year program. It is a recognized bachelor's degree. Wherever you see this accreditation, RNCP level 6, it means it's a bachelor's degree. If it's RNCP 7, it's a master's degree. So this is a bachelor's degree. It's a 3-year program, as I mentioned earlier, and the student gets the following skill sets after the program. They can also join the MBA program when they complete the bachelor's degree. IESE also has MBA programs. And as I mentioned, RNCP level 7, it means a master's degree. So they have MBA programs in performing arts management, MBA programs in contemporary arts, sales, display, and collecting. And then they have here MBA in arts and cultural management. This program is a double degree program at PSB. So they do art programs at IESA and business courses at PSB. So at the end of the day, their diploma would state that they took courses at IESA and PSB. So it's a double degree diploma. That's why it's more expensive than the other MBA programs here, like performing arts and contemporary arts. One thing to note about the MBA programs at PSB is, sorry, at IESA, one thing to know about the MBA programs at IESA is that students who have a 3-year bachelor's degree will need to take a pre-master, which basically means that with a 3-year bachelor's degree, they have only 180 credits. So they don't have enough credits to join the program because the required credits to join the MBA is 240 credits. So the pre-master is for them to get the remaining credits before they join the MBA. So usually when they apply, they can apply to pre-master plus MBA if they have a 3-year bachelor's degree. But if they have a 4-year bachelor's degree or 3 years plus 1 year of master's, then they can apply directly to the MBA. So no issue with that. Same with the arts and cultural management program with PSP. It's the same criteria. And then we also have IESA summer programs, but this is not really interesting for you because it's for students to apply directly. So I'll just skip that.
Right.
Yeah. And then we have the Institut Culinaire de France, the one I mentioned, the culinary school in Bordeaux. Same like Cours Florent, it's a 3-year program. The only thing is they don't have a recognized bachelor's degree. So it's really for students who are interested in going into culinary art professionally. But if they're interested in bachelor's degree, if they're really interested in accredited degrees, this doesn't really work, but it's a good school for those who want to learn culinary art, like French cuisine and all that. Okay, and then we come to LISA. So LISA has 4 disciplines. We have LISA animation, LISA graphic design, LISA interior architecture and design, and LISA fashion design. All these 4 schools are based in Paris. We also have LISA in the regions, like LISA Strasbourg, LISA Bordeaux, LISA Montpellier. The only difference is that with the LISAs out of Paris, they only have programs in French. So I'll concentrate on just the LISAs in Paris because they have programs in English. So for LISA animation, and just to know, all these LISAs, LISA animation, graphic design, interior architecture, they all have different campuses in Paris. They all have different campuses. LISA animation has a 3-year bachelor's degree. It's animation 2D, 3D. So they do both 2D and 3D. Whereas with the French course, they can specialize in just 2D or just 3D. But with the English program, they do both. So that's a plus. And they have intakes in just fall. And they tried to open one in spring. It didn't work out. So I'll modify this before I send to you. So they have intakes in just fall. And of course, it's a recognized degree. As I mentioned, it has RNCP level 6, so it's a recognized bachelor's degree. And it's really for students who are interested in animation because it's a very specialized program. And then we have Lisa Fashion Design. So Lisa Fashion Design is also, as I mentioned, in Paris. They have a 3-year bachelor's degree in fashion design for students who are really interested in the design aspect. They also have fashion business for students who are interested in the business aspect of fashion. So the 3-year bachelor's degree, of course, they specialize starting from the second year in pattern making. They can choose their specialization. So they can choose to go into pattern making or textile design or knitwear or 3D concepts. What's interesting about the 3D concepts is that they get to do the foundation year. So the first year, they do everything. The second year, they can also decide to do everything, but if they want to specialize, 3D concepts takes everything they learned by hand and puts it in 3D. So it's also interesting for students who want to specialize in 3D. And of course, they have tuition fees stated here, and they also have registration fees, which is 550 euros plus this. But all that is specified when they apply and they get their admission documents. All the fees are specialized on the admission letter. And then, as I mentioned, we also have Lisa Fashion also has fashion business for students who are interested in the business aspect of fashion. So, of course, it's an accredited bachelor's degree. It has RNCP level 6. And usually they also take some design courses, just a few. They don't really concentrate on that. They take a few design courses so that they are aware of what happens on the design aspect too. Same with the fashion design students. They also take a few business courses so that they know a bit about the business aspect. And then Lisa Fashion, of course, also has master's degrees. So they have fashion design and brand creation. This is really for students who studied fashion design in their bachelor's degree. Like they need to have that fashion base because if not, it will be difficult for them to join this program because the criteria is really like high. And of course, they can do their first year. It's a 2-year program, so they can do their first year in Paris, which is this at this price, and they can do their second year also in Paris at this price. But of course, they are open to the option of doing the second year in Milan. It's a little more expensive, but it's good for the experience and to know more about the Milan culture also in fashion. And of course, it's a collaboration with a school in Italy, one of our schools in Italy, NABA. Okay, and then they also have interior artistic director. This is also a possible second year in Milan. So it's the same as the first program, but it's more for those who are interested in artistic direction. And of course, they have a new program, Art Direction and Fashion Tech. This is all in Paris, and it's also a 2-year program. And one thing to note about the LISA programs is that starting from the third year, they can do a work study program in the sense that they can find we call it alternance in France. So what they can do is that in the third year, they can decide to find a company so that they do a sandwich program. They study 3 weeks. No, they work 3 weeks and then they study 1 week, or they work 3 days and study 2 days. It depends on the schedule that the company and the school decides on. So the company pays their tuition fees and then they work and study. So they can do that starting from the third year. But one thing to note is that most fashion companies in France um, do work in English, but because it's in France, they also work a lot in French. So it's a plus if the students start to study French once they get into France, or they start studying even before they come, so that when it comes to the work environment, they can be comfortable too. And then we have lithographic design. Lithographic design also has a bachelor's program, 3 years in graphic design. Starting from the second year, they can specialize in any of these areas: typography, illustration, photography. It's really up to them and what they're comfortable with. After studying the first year, when they do all the general courses, they can find out what they're more interested in. So it's also in Paris, as I mentioned earlier, but also in a different campus. And then we have LISA Interior Architecture and Design. So this is a 5-year program, and it's also a different campus in Paris. It's a 5-year program, and at the end of the 5 years, they get a master's degree, because the 4th and 5th years are the equivalent of a master's level. But one thing to note is that when they get into the program, let's say a student decides to join this program, and in the 3rd year, they decide to drop out, or they decide to drop out after the 3rd year because maybe they want to go to another school, or they found out that they're interested in something else. I'm not sure, but at the end of the 3rd year, they just need to know that they will not get a bachelor's degree. They don't have an equivalent of a bachelor's degree after the 3rd year. What they will get is a school certificate. In order for them to get the recognized degree, they need to complete the total 5 years so that they can get the recognized master's degree, sorry. That's the RNCP level 7. So yeah, that's the main point to know about this program. But if not, it's the same like with all the LISAs. They can start doing the work study program starting from the 3rd year if they join at the bachelor's level. If they join at the master's level, they can opt for the work study program at the 5th year.
So like this interior architecture and design course, like they can't do it for 3 years. It is a 5 years course, so they need to study
It's a
for 5
5-year,
years. Okay.
exactly. It's a
And
complete 5-year course.
okay, fine. RNCP level 5 degree would be awarded to the student, right?
Level 7, yes, it's a
Level 7,
master's degree.
sorry. Level 7, yeah.
Yeah.
Madam, this
Yes.
amount is for the entire program or it is for 1 year?
Sorry?
The fixed fees is for the entire period or for 1 year?
So first year it is 11,190, and starting from second year to the 5th year, the fees is 12,690 per year.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years.
Yes.
Okay. And then we have Paris School of Business. I'll just briefly go through that because for all their admissions, and you have to get in touch with them directly. So of course they
Yes.
have the BBA program. Yes, they have the BBA program in the 5 major disciplines where they can do in the 3rd year. And then they have the MSc programs, which are either 120 ECTS or 90 ECTS, quite similar to IESE actually. If they have a 3-year bachelor's degree, they do the 120 ECTS. If they have 4 years, they do the 90 ECTS. And of course, they have these disciplines: hospitality and tourism management, international management, national marketing, business development, data analytics, marketing strategy, purchasing, supply management, supply chain, and international finance. Of course, they also have the luxury and fashion management program for those who are interested in luxury and fashion management. And this is the arts and culture management program, which is with IESA. So it's the same. And then the MBA, and of course the doctorate programs. But you can get in touch with them for more details. You do have their contact, right, Dzifa?
Yes. I'm in direct
Okay,
communication
perfect.
with them, yeah, for Paris School of Business. I'm
Okay,
operating
perfect.
through another ID for PSB.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we also have Strat. Okay. So Strat, it's a really like competitive school. They have just one program in English, which is a Master of Transportation Design. And it's really for students who are interested in this field and those who have done a bachelor's degree in a related field, because the criteria for joining it, it's highly dependent on their portfolio. It needs to be very like strong, very competitive, because they have very few slots for this program. The last year they had 12 spots for this program. So 12 spots for every international student coming in. So you can imagine how competitive it is. And a lot of the time, it's highly dependent. They need to speak really well. They need to speak really good English. They need to have a good level, which is fine for India because they are English speaking. Then they need to have, as I mentioned, a really strong portfolio, if possible, a related bachelor's degree in this field.
എല്ലാം ഭയങ്കര റേറ്റ് 12,000 13,000 ഒക്കെ യൂറോ.
So for this doesn't really apply to you because most of your students do study in English. So the English test requirement is not really for you. The only thing they might need to send is your English proficiency letter from your university stating that they studied in English, which you usually do. So that's fine. So that's it for all the schools. Feel free if you have any questions.
Like a portfolio is needed for application in each and every school at
Oh,
GG.
sorry, I didn't mention. A portfolio is needed for Strat. I mentioned that. A portfolio is needed for all the leases. So for all the leases, starting from the first year, is not a very strict. So they need to send a portfolio if they're interested in interior architecture, for instance. They need to send a portfolio of at least 5 artworks. If possible, there should be sketches. We should be able to see their hand sketches and all that. And if they have some digital works, they can add that too. So that's for the first year. But starting from the second year, for all the leases, it becomes more strict because it's believed that they have studied 1 year of the program, so they should have a stronger portfolio. But for the first year, it's really flexible. They just need to have a minimum of at least 5 artworks. So that's for the leases.
Okay.
IESA, no, it's not required because it's a performing arts program. So IESA, it's not required.
For culinary,
Coffre
yeah.
The culinary school, it's not required in the first year, but starting from the second year, it is. Coffre it's not required, of course, but if they have some videos or something they want to share, they can feel free to go ahead. And of course, Atelier des Sèvres, it is required because it's a foundation year in arts, so they need to send a portfolio. And the fashion school, Atelier Chardin Savard, yes, it is required too. So it's required for one Atelier des Sèvres, Lisa, Stratz. That's it.
Right. And as you said, like, no, IELTS is not mandatory, right, for all the schools. And apart from that, like any application fees in any school?
No, the application fees, we do have a partnership, so all your students don't need to pay
Yes.
the application fee
Thank you.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Ma'am, I have a 2-year gap. Is that a problem for applying?
No, it's not a problem if you have a gap here. You just need to justify, that's it. But if not, especially if you're applying to most of the art schools or the business schools, no, it's not required actually. Maybe the people who would really ask you about the gap year is Campus France when you go for the visa interview. They might ask you why.
Okay.
So just know that. But
Is there a
for the
minimum
school,
mark requirement? Any percentage requirement?
they need to have a pass. I don't know what the grading system is, but they should have a mark of over 50 if it's over 100. They should have at least a 60. That's the minimum.
At least 60?
Yes, they need to have a
Okay.
pass. I don't know what's the equivalent of a pass.
Okay,
That's why I
okay,
said that.
okay.
Yeah.
And IELTS is not mandatory, right, ma'am?
No, IELTS is not mandatory. Unless, of course, maybe you do an interview with a school and they do find out that maybe your English level is not good enough, they might ask for an IELTS. But if not, it's not
Okay.
required.
Okay, I have a last doubt, and it's that should we show any account balance here?
That's up to Campus France actually. So for us, once you're admitted to the school, you do need to pay a deposit. It depends on
Okay.
the program. Sometimes it can be 3,000 or 5,000 or 8,000. I'm not sure, but they just need to pay a deposit and
To the school.
everything that yes, so that they
Okay.
can get their registration documents and
Okay.
go to the visa application process with that. But
So,
after that,
we shouldn't start an account and show money over there, right?
no, to the school, you don't need to show an account. Who you need to
Okay.
show an account to is Campus France when you go for the visa. They ask for that.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. I received some questions, so I'll just Yes, I will share the presentation. I'll share the presentation, and I'm sure Deepa can brief you about our application process. What you need to
Yes.
do is always add the application, add the application form and all the required documents for each program. If it's an art school, like I mentioned, maybe you will need a portfolio or not. Feel free if you have any questions. I'm just looking for
Do you
questions.
have any public university courses, ma'am?
Public courses?
Public university, any courses are there?
No, for Galileo, all our schools are private. For public universities, the best thing for you to do if you're interested in public universities is to go to Campus France.
Okay.
Yes, but just so you know, almost all the public schools in France do teach in French, so you need to have a good French level, at least a B2.
Like mainly we will be having students who will be interested in English speaking courses only, okay? Through joining
Yes.
campus, yes. So like all this English speaking courses are delivered in Paris campus only, right?
Yes, most of the
Okay.
English programs are in Paris. And maybe I can go to the ESG. Just saying the
Yeah, sorry for the
ESGCI.
interruption.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so one of our colleague has a query. She will try to speak. Mohan Lakshmi, go ahead.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, we have to show bank statements, no? So that we have to show mother and father statement are only student bank statement we have to show, ma'am.
Yes, I think, as I mentioned, this is with Campus France, but usually you can show whoever is sponsoring your education, whether it's your parents, you can't show their bank statements to Campus France, but you need to check with them what's the minimum requirement, how much you need to have in that bank statement. I'm not sure about it because for us it's different for every country. So you need to check with Campus France India. What's the minimum amount you need to have? But yes, you can send your parents bank statement.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. For scholarship, any eligibility, ma'am?
No, for all our schools, unfortunately, we don't have any scholarships.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, ma'am. Yeah, okay. Fine.
Like does any of the school at the Paris campus provide any accommodation help to the students?
Oh, okay. For accommodation, we don't have any like dormitories or accommodation on campus. But what we do is we have a lot of housing partners. Yes, so we have a lot of housing partners that we do share with the students once they're admitted to the program. So we have like a list of housing partners in Paris, and then they can contact them. It depends on their budget. At the end of the day, they can decide to maybe spend €1,000 on an apartment each month or 500 euros. It's really up to them. So they have like a range, and they can choose from and contact the housing
Right.
partners for yes.
So you provide guidelines like and you help like in order to find an accommodation over there.
Yes, we do that.
Thanks.
But we don't have like dormitories on campus. No.
Right, right.
Ma'am,
Yes.
for pursuing students is bona fide certificate is eligible, ma'am.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
For pursuing students is bona fide certificate is eligible for France.
If their certificate is eligible for France,
For pursuing students is bona fide certificate is eligible for France, ma'am, France universities.
yes, most of the time your certificates are good for France universities. For our universities, yes.
So here the question is, some students still pursue in a final year of the BTech. So as you know, all the certificates will not be get to the student. So instead of submitting all the certificates, can we submit a bona fide certificate from the university?
Yes, for applications we can do that, and but later not we need to submit it. Okay, once it is available.
Acha. Okay, okay. So by submitting on the modified, the university are ready to allot it only.
Yes, we can
Okay,
try for the
okay.
same. Yeah.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to share with you this document too. Like we have an Excel with all the business programs and an Excel with all the arts programs. And then the programs that are available in English, they are stated. So I'll share this Excel with you, Deepa, after the webinar.
Yeah, I will need
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
If you have the
That's
same
the
for PSB as well, I would also need the same because for PSB I don't have it. And even I need the latest brochures of each and every school for the English top program if available. Digital copy is also good, like it would be helpful for us for doing
right.
promotions.
I can send you the brochures we have for ISA, for Lisa,
Yes.
and PSB. We don't have it
Okay.
actually. So yes, you can get in touch with Anne.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
who. Yeah.
Fine. I will get it from them.
Yes.
Ma'am, MOI media of instruction will be no, ma'am. Through medium of instructions, we are eligible to go France, ma'am.
Yes, we can.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay. The
If it's
student
in
is not
English,
willing. Yeah, okay. Other chance will be is there, ma'am? Other like student is not willing to write English exam.
yes, for us, we don't need the IELTS from students coming from India because most students from India study in English. The
Okay.
only time they can ask for it is when you maybe have an interview and the interviewer thinks that your English level is not good enough, so they can ask you for it, but it's specific cases.
It's mandatory IELTS exam, ma'am.
It's not mandatory.
Yeah.
It's not mandatory unless they ask for it,
Yeah.
unless they ask you for it. Maybe after they speak to you, they feel like your English level is not good enough, they can ask you for it.
Okay. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you.
And once like the application has been done or submitted, okay, the offline application using the application form, like, are the students directly informed about the interview? Are they getting any mails for the same? And what would be the mode of the interview? Like, this is like Skype interview or just a video recorded interview, pre-recorded interview? How it is like?
Most of the time, so the process is we get we get their application documents from you, and then it's evaluated. And if their grades or whatever it is, if they meet the criteria for the program they're applying for, they get an interview date. So that is communicated to you because we got the application from you. We communicate the interview slot to you, and
Right,
then you confirm with the students
right.
if they're available or not.
Fine.
And then we share the link. They have the interview, and
Okay.
after it's decided if they're admitted or not.
Right, right. Okay, thanks. So it is through us, like, good. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes,
Fine.
yes.
So that we are aware, like, there is going to be an interview of the students because sometimes it
Yes.
happens like the students directly receive the link or the details from the school and we are like absolutely not aware about the same.
No, for us, we always communicate with you because
Yeah,
we
that's
didn't
good
get the
because so it
application
is,
from the
yeah,
students.
it is good because it is not missed, okay, if it is through us.
Yes,
Otherwise,
exactly.
somewhere students don't check their mails and the interview is missed.
Yes, exactly. So we always confirm with you, and then we share the link with the students and send you a copy just in case.
Do you have any age limit to apply for any of the programs in any of the schools? Like, is there any age limit?
Some schools do have age limits. For Lisa graphic design, They have an age limit. It's 28 for the bachelor's degree. And for LISA interior architecture, they don't have an age limit for the program, but they have an age limit for the work study option. So for instance, if you're over 29 and you're applying for the first year, just know that when you're done, by the time you get to the 5th year, if you want to do the work study program, it's not available to people who are over 29 because companies are not willing to pay for that. So you can still join the program, but you have to pay your own tuition fees. The company is not going to pay for that. So that's the only school. For the rest, there are no age limits.
Ma'am, what is meaning of CVEC?
Sorry?
What is the meaning of CVEC certificate?
She's asking about
CV?
CVAC fees. CVAC fees, 92 euros fees. Yeah, CVAC fees. CVAC process and all.
Oh,
Yeah, ma'am.
Hello. Like we will be sharing you the details. Okay, you can connect your counselor over here at Join in Campus, and we'll be sharing you the details and the information about CVAC fees. Okay.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
so I'm going to share this list with you for the programs that are 100% in English. ESG Montpellier International Business. For those who don't want to do, for those who are interested in studying outside of Paris. They also have ESG Bordeaux International Strategy, 100% in English.
Right. Okay, you can share me this list and I will check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ESGCI. Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
I'll share
And
this
like after the session, I would be sharing you some creatives, okay, for promotional use. I would be requiring your approval in order to start the promotions for the same.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, if nobody has any questions, I think we can end the session. And
Yeah,
if anyone
yes.
has questions afterwards, maybe you can send me an email and then we'll
Sure.
respond to that. Okay.
Yeah, they can send it to me and I will forward
Exactly.
it to you. And if possible, only we can only solve the doubts if it is not to be forwarded to you. But if
Okay.
it is something related to schools or anything else, we will surely forward to you.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah, thank you so much today for your time and solving
Thank you
all the
too.
queries.
Yes,
Yeah, thanks for your time. We will be waiting for the PPTs and the latest brochures and all.
of course.
Yeah,
All right.
thanks for your time. Have a good
Thank
day.
you and have a good evening. Of course.
Yeah, it is
Bye.
evening over. Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Yeah.